Today is the first day in over a year, probably like 13 months, that I have not done cold water in the morning. And it's not because I'm giving up on cold water, anything like that. I realized that like when I took a step back and looked at my life, the past week, I have not been able to wake up early in the morning, and my diet has been like super like fluctuating between healthy and unhealthy and like binge eating. And when I looked at the fact that I'm not like my priorities of waking up early and eating, which is like the most important, isn't even in line, I was like, you know what? I'm going so hard on like cold water in the morning. I am stopping cold water until I get these other priorities straight. It's like, I'm going so hard in this area, but what about all these like basic things I need to get right? And so, yeah, today's the first day in literally over 13 months. For the past probably like 400 days, I've done cold water the very first thing when I wake up, which is way different than doing cold water any other point in the day. Like if you do cold water like middle of the day, you're kind of amped up, like you're middle of your day. If you do it like as soon as you get out of bed, it is the last thing you want to do. And I think that's why it was very beneficial for literally over a year. But yeah, things just started to get a little out of whack. So I am actually going less hard. And that's something that I've been trying to practice. I've been getting a lot of feedback from the people that I love that when I do things, I have to do them in extremes. And I think I have good intentions when I want to do that. Like I just want to do things really well. But I'm going to work on a little bit more like moderation, living a lifestyle that's sustainable, something I can do. Like I'll be in front of this camera in 40 years from now doing the same exact thing. That's my goal. And so with that, you already know when I make a lifestyle change, just so many other things change. Like that one habit of me not doing cold water, it ended up leading to me planning my day-to-day. And it was actually cool because then I feel like instead of having to worry about, okay, you got to go to bed right now so you could focus on doing cold water, without having that like energy needed, I was able to like put that to planning a different day-to-day. And so I always said cold water was like that one lead domino where it would start and it would kick off all these other ones. But things got stale after 400 days. So knowing that I'd start my day differently, I was like, you know what, tomorrow I'm only going to try to achieve 3 things a day. It is furthering a helmet idea project that I have. It was filming this video, which is going to be a slight Sunday workout. And it's also working on my second brain, which that's a longer story. I'll maybe talk about that. But essentially, that helps me track my workouts, track my day, and I want to get better at learning that system, building this thing called the second brain. And so with that came already a way different feel to my day. Like now, instead of doing cold water first thing in the morning, I went outside, I went on a walk to try to hit the sun. And I'm hoping that aligning my day, starting with sun and not just at my screen. Actually, when I first woke up, I looked at my screen, like my phone, and I was like, no, get in the sun first. And I did that, and I'm hoping this will help me wake up earlier, because that's really the name of this game, is waking up earlier. Yeah, and then so with that lifestyle change, I was also like, you know what, I looked at my house and I was like, you know what, I need to change my house around a little bit. I get flamed for changing the layout of my house every week. But I just feel like as soon as I kind of change my daily routine, my house just naturally feels like it needs to change. And so if you could see, now I have like a, let's see, over here is like a speaker. It's a JBL speaker, kind of hard to tell. And a little speaker system with like the world's biggest beanbag. Side note, it's not, but it feels like it. And so now I have a cool little hangout station here. And now I'm like filming here too. So that being said, we're going to get a Sunday workout in, something super light so that I can really dedicate my Sunday to focusing on all these other areas I need to address. But they said, the only good workout is the one you're going to do. And something worth doing is worth doing bad because you're still doing it. And so I'm going to get a super light workout in today. I'm thinking super light workout. Let's go. So first, a note on what these videos are. I mentioned that I sat down and was like, okay, what really are these videos? And I've had so many ideas of like, filming these crazy different things I'm doing, like the helmet project I mentioned. And, what I kind of realized is almost like the workout, the only videos worth filming are the ones I'm actually going to do. And I've also realized that to really do these videos, to make good videos, I need to do a lot of them. And so I realized that as of right now, the easiest way for me to film videos is make it real simple. So, bring you along things that I'm already doing. I noticed that when I thought about making videos for like the projects I'm doing, it almost took away my focus from the project and allowing myself to really be my best self while trying to apply myself in the project, and I'm more focusing on filming. So I don't think that was sustainable because I still want to do great things in terms of, I guess, like what I'm achieving in life. Like, I don't want the videos to be like what I do with my life. I just want them to be a part of them. This is an analogy I thought of, but when you think of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic, one of the greatest to ever do it, he was the most powerful man at his time. He had a combination of two things. It's like, one, what he was documenting was just his daily journal. It's not like he was documenting like the inner workings of what he was actually doing. It was just like the everyday struggle that you go to. He was documenting the ordinary and keeping all the extraordinary stuff he did for not his journal. And I see these in a similar route where it's like, I would rather keep these just documenting just the normal stuff that I am doing. And, obviously everything I'm working on will be related, but that's not really the focus of these videos. So that's at least where we're starting at for now. The thing is I've spent so much time, even before filming, there was so many days I didn't film when it would have been way better for me to just get in front of a camera and put in reps of me talking to a camera, getting in front of it, figuring out what I want to do. So many days that I instead thought about like, oh, who I'm going to be, what's my brand going to be? And, it was really helpful for me to remember that, filming these videos, like just because I'm filming a workout today doesn't mean I have to be like a workout YouTuber. It doesn't like have to define you for what you're going to do that would be the rest of your life. I feel like you're not realistically defined by what you do to a point to where it matters until you're doing something hundreds and hundreds of times. And so there's going to be, I feel like to start, you have to have that period of trying some things, stopping them, and it may feel like failure, but really it's not, because you found out more of what it's like you got more information on what you don't want to do. A way I've heard that described as the path of not here. The path of not here is essentially shows that nothing you do is a waste of time, because even things you do and you're like, you know what, this isn't for me, it's the path of not here. It was like a beautiful path of, I'm not going to do this again. I now know not to go down that path. And I feel like for me to find out what I want to do in front of a camera, I'm going to have to go through many of those paths of not here. And so if you have been watching these before, the 4 people that have, thank you so much for going with me on this path of not here while I get things more down. And also, I encourage you to keep exploring those things, and don't see it as a failure when you don't continue to do it. I think of a friend right now who tried making workout clips every day, and he stopped doing it, and I think he realized like it kind of turned his workouts into a job, and he didn't like that because he liked the space of workouts just to disconnect from having to think. And so I'm like, what I need to have a follow-up conversation with him with is, dude, that's great. That's beautiful, because now you know like more information on what you can sustainably do. Anyway, in terms of what I'm doing today, so I'm going to Costa Rica with my life partner. Yes, that is an exclusive title, in less than 1 week today. So today's Sunday. We're leaving on Friday. No, we're leaving on Saturday. So I have like 5 or 6 days. And so I want to get that Costa Rican body, I guess, is, I guess one thing I want to do. So here's the thing, I've been working out, I've been doing more jiu-jitsu than I have been weightlifting, but it would be good to have a nice little pump, I guess, for Costa Rica. By the way, I am very torn on if that's too egotistical, and you shouldn't be lifting for looks or beauty. You should be looking for function. So we're gonna apply a little bit of both in today's workout. I'm gonna be getting a quick, probably 30-minute workout I want like a higher volume. Like I want it to be more like higher pace, like high pace the whole workout, because that's ideally the life I'm going to be living in Costa Rica. So we're going to get a little bit of that functional by keeping it high tempo. And then I am going to throw in a little bit of OG bodybuilding mindset here as well, with like what muscle groups I'm working out. So yesterday I did a crazy leg workout. I'll just run it by you. My gym was closed because my gym closes at 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays. I didn't get to work out until after. And so yesterday I just went to a park, and it had like a mini track, and I did 10 laps where I would like sprint the straights and then jog the curves on the track. And then I did 100 burpees, and I split that up. And that right there is a workout. But then I also did about 300 meters. So I just did laps of lunges and backward lunges. And then I did the same thing. So like 300 liters or like 6 laps in my little space of frog jumps. And then I also did 50 pull-ups. So that was really like my leg day workout with a little bit of back. I've realized that I've always worked out for like function and efficiency. So I always do legs. And I never do like chest or biceps. That is literally the weakest part of my body because I just never work it out. And I recognize that that's not, yeah. I always like doing legs if it was efficient. Anyway, today though, we're not doing that. Today we're gonna do a chest and bicep workout. Like I'm already sitting up straighter, so that when I go to Costa Rica, like I want someone to look at me and be like, wow, he must do 100 curls a day. And right now, if you look at me, it's like, bro, has that guy ever worked out his noodle arms? And so we're gonna try to, we're gonna try to flip the script. We're gonna try to change the narrative. By the way, look at my beautiful bike ride every single day on the way to the gym. I mean, if this isn't the best commute possible, and my gym's right at the end of that trail. All right, so we've schemed up a super slight workout. We decided we're gonna warm up with some worm push-ups. I feel like I have to do some kind of workout, but then we're gonna jump right into the bicep and chest. So, and able to look like I do 100 curls a day, we're gonna do 100 curls, and then 100 press, and then 100 upright rows. And that's it. And I feel like that's kind of a weird split, but I like the high volume of the 100 reps. And I don't know, for some reason, I feel like I just need to do upright rows. Like, I don't know the last time I did that. That was actually a really good full body workout. I feel like our full body warm up. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in like 2 minutes. So for the 100 bicep curls, I was gonna just do dumbbell curls, but I wanna really focus on the bicep. Again, we wanna see the gains in the bicep. So I think this is the most controlled thing I can do. And they have the machine, but I kinda wanna do like forearm. I wanna engage the forearms a little bit too. So we're just gonna go with easy bar curls, 100 of these. I'm gonna go light. All right, so the weight I'm using, it started to burn out around 20 reps, which I think that's what I wanna go with. I really wanna focus on these, like how far I go, so range of motion and tempo. Like I'm gonna try to get better at going slowly down and then accelerate up and squeeze at the top for about half a second, maybe a second. I think for these 100 rep exercises, if you're gonna do the 100 reps, the tempo at which you do the reps is really key to not just like grinding through them and not getting a lot out of them. Like I'm not trying to work my joints here. I'm trying to work the bicep, and that's something I'm trying to get better at. I also like that I can switch up the grip. So I'll probably do 50 one way, or every other rep, we'll probably switch the grips every other set. I caught myself cheating the reps at the end a little bit. I feel like when I have a number in mind for how many reps I'm going, I'm thinking more about like I was going for 20 reps. I feel like I think more about that 20th rep than I do the rep I'm actually doing. So I'm gonna try to stop having the rep number range and just go rep by rep. I find that stretching the bicep in between bicep reps really helps. It feels like I'm kind of lengthening the muscle tissue, the fascia. Feels really good when you're already sore, like mid sets, to stretch out that muscle group. This bicep stretch, just put your hand against a wall, stretch them out, feels really good. I'm really happy that I'm starting with biceps because I see why I don't do biceps. I feel like I'm so uncomfortable doing biceps. I feel like I always just don't do them. Maybe I thought I started off not doing them. I'm like, oh, why do bicep curls? Do compound movements like deadlifts. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, this is actually hard and different than what I'm used to because it's so much burnout in one area. So I think I'm catching myself. Like I was kind of running from bicep curls. So last set, one thing I've learned is sometimes in between sets, you'll see guys like pacing the gym, like huffing and puffing, when really what you should be doing in between each set is just like closing your eyes, like in your head, you're in a spring meadow, just really relaxing so that you can recharge more instead of like wasting your energy and wasting all your mental energy too, all hyped up in between sets. Like it goes back to that concept of turning your on and off switch. It also is just better reps, like going from total rest to total just let's go. So let's go. All right, so the 100 reps feels a little hardcore, but just remembering that you only have 300 reps total, like that's the whole workout. So we're gonna go into chest now. Again, I'm gonna keep it light. We're gonna try to go more bodybuilder instead of powerlifting, meaning try to just focusing on feeling that muscle connection instead of in powerlifting, you think about pushing the weight through the ceiling. So recently I had someone from work come up to me and another colleague and they were like, yeah, I'm just like not seeing the progress that I want. And my colleague was like, yeah, you just have to lift heavier. And he was so adamant the whole time. She's like, I literally just started working out a month ago. And he's like, you need to lift heavier. That's why you're not seeing the gains. And it was just weird advice to just lift heavier, especially to a beginner. I feel like being someone who's lifted heavy, I feel like that's the easiest trap people think if they need to go into the gym and just lift heavier instead of going more consistently, going more frequently, or fixing their diet. And so, here's your reminder that you don't necessarily have to lift heavier. That did feel a little light. We're gonna go like 5 pounds heavier, nothing too crazy. Knowing that I have to do 100 reps, they're getting a little grindy. So I guess that's the biggest con with this workout is you can easily fall into that trap of like just trying to grind out the 100 reps, which is not what I want trying to grow the muscle. So you have to like not think about how many reps you have to do and just take it one set at a time. Another thing I like about this workout is how simple it is. Like it's literally just 3 exercises, 100 reps. Again, that person who just started working out and they were like, you gotta go heavier. She was telling us also that she goes to the gym for 2 hours. In the first hour, she's doing like a whole hour of abs before she even does her workout. And it's like, like when I go to the gym, I'm literally there for like 30 or 45 minutes. And I think there's something that just makes that like so much more sustainable. She told me that her workout, she has like 7 or 8 exercises, like she ran through them. And it's like, how about instead of those like 7 exercises, you just do 100 burpees and then come back to me. She's like, oh, I couldn't do that. And it's like, well, let's just try to get like 10 burpees then, like, and then leave the gym and just build up. I feel like that would be so much better than doing like 30 wrist curls, 30 like twists and all these other things. It's like when you do burpees, like you'll work everything and in one rep. Another thing is this gym has the dopest floor to ceiling windows I've ever seen. Their hours are kind of crazy, like they're very limited, but trade-offs like limited hours and you gotta just be dialed in to make it, or floor to ceiling windows over the skyline. We're trying it out. So I'm at 80 reps, I have 20 more. I feel like if I was listening to my body, I'd probably just cut it here. I'm always on the fence between like cutting it when I had a goal in mind versus just pushing through the last 20. So we're gonna go for the 100. So I noticed that what really burnt out first was probably like my outer chest, because the further back I went, that was really what was burning out. Still made it through. All right, so I chose upright rows just because I haven't done them in probably like half a year. It just feels like something I need to do. I will say, since upright rows were created by like OG bodybuilders, I feel like we have like new, better things like those kettlebell swings where you press. I don't know how to do that yet though. I feel like I need someone to show me. But until then, we'll just stick with the OG bodybuilding upright rows. Grabbed 40s. No idea how this will feel. It feels like I just woke up a muscle group that has not been woken up since my ancestors used it. So that's probably a good sign. There's something that feels a little goofy about doing upright rows. Also, I'm like filming in the sun here. I thought this was a good idea, but yeah, we got to change up everything. I don't really know like what my goal with upright rows is. Like, have you ever seen someone and it just looks like they do upright rows? Like, I don't even know if I want to look like that. But we got 60 more. We're gonna be a man of our word and do these 100 upright rows. But yeah, I don't know if I want to be built like that. Check it out. See, this 100 upright rows thing is a good example of like, I come into the gym with like a good plan, and then it ends up like taking way longer than I thought and being like on paper it seems easy, and then ends up being like harder than I thought on my body. I feel like the hardest part of working out sustainably is like actually making yourself stop. I feel like that's like the hardest part after you're like in the flow of actually, like once you make it to the door, the next hardest part is actually stopping when you've had enough. So we're gonna think about that. I mean, we have a little bit extra time today, it's a Sunday, but I think going forward in the future, I'd probably make this a shorter workout, just to keep it more sustainable. I'm not trying to have to go to the gym for 90 minutes every time I work out. I wanna keep these like, because especially since it was a Sunday, it's kind of like a bonus day. I wanna keep these bonus days a little bit shorter in theory, but we're gonna finish with the 40 upright rows. We're gonna be built like we do upright rows, so be on the lookout. But ultimately, I think it was a really good workout, and a little bit more Costa Rica ready. So. All right, I did catch myself pacing through these. I feel like I was kind of like hunching down, trying to rep them out. So for these last 20, my goal is gonna be to keep my chest up. I feel like keeping your chest up is such a good rule of thumb for your form in so many exercises, like squats, deadlifts, bicep curls. I feel like you should just always keep your chest out on the street or in the gym. Whew. That's a wrap. Ultimately, if I had to rate this workout, which I want to start tracking data a little bit more, I would give this workout, I feel like I'd give it a 6 out of 10. My goal was to get a high tempo chest and bicep workout, and the 3 exercises was cool on paper, but I feel like it felt a little, like the 100 reps is a little weird. I feel like it would have been better to just do like the normal 3 to 5 sets of things. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 in terms of how well I think it achieved doing like a high tempo bicep and chest workout. Well, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for how well I like hit my bicep and chest. But in terms of how much I enjoyed it and like, I don't know, there's something there. I got to think about how I'm going to start, like what I'm going to base rating my workouts off of. But I feel like in terms of enjoyability, I could have had a little bit more fun. Like the 100 reps is a little bit grindy. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 in terms of enjoyability, an 8 out of 10 in terms of like what I was trying to hit. I think I did good. I feel like a way I could have improved this workout was doing supersets, because I could pick up the tempo a little bit more, could have switched up the workout, and it would have been shorter. I feel like supersets, like a superset workout would have been way better than just the 100 reps in a row. So that's what would have probably bumped this workout to more enjoyable and quicker and hitting my muscle groups more. So we're gonna iterate.